So last fall, I did a video on a town that I drove through that I think is one of the nicest small towns in Montana. And ever since then, I've been wanting to go back and stay there. In this video, I'm going to show you that we did just that. We spent a weekend in Livingston, Montana, and checked out all the things there are to do and all the things that Livingston has to offer. Let's go check it out. Before we get to this week's episode, I would like to take a minute to thank all of you that have been watching our videos. I do have one favor to ask though. I was looking at our stats and it says that 68% of the people that watch our videos are not subscribed to our channel. So if you're one of those people, I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe. It would definitely help us out a ton. Thank you, and let's get on with this week's episode. So as I said in the intro, when I went through Livingston last year, I just thought it's such a cool town. The history here was just unbelievable. So we decided to take a trip for the weekend over there and explore the whole area. And we ended up staying at the Murray Hotel, which was built in 1904. And back then it was known as the Elite Hotel. And it was built specifically to serve the Northern Pacific Railway, which is right across the street. The Livingston Depot is. And it was one of 13 hotels that was built in downtown Livingston between 1884 and 1914. And in the 1920s, the whole hotel expanded to 4 stories and 66 rooms. And back then it was known as the only hotel in Livingston that had an elevator. It was a 1905 hand-cranked Otis elevator that, as you can see, is still working today. The front desk person has to run it for you, but we took it when we went up to our room when we checked in. Otherwise, we took the stairs all the time because the elevator isn't for use with the public. But the history of this place is awesome, and every room is decorated a little differently, and we know this because our friend's room was completely different from ours. But they've kind of incorporated the history and some new things like the TV and things like that. So it was a really cool place to stay. And one of the things I learned is that there's been all kinds of celebrities that have stayed there over the years. One of them being Anthony Bourdain, who ranked this place as one of his top 10 all-time favorite hotels that he's been in. And as you know, he's been to a lot of places. So it was kind of cool to stay in a place that has this kind of history. And here's the depot that's right across the street that I was talking about earlier. And it used to be that the north entrance to Yellowstone down in Gardner was the main entrance to the park. So they used to have a railroad spur that came up to Livingston from there. So everybody would change trains here in Livingston and go down to the park via that Gardner entrance. The next place we went to was across the street, and it's the Mint Bar, which is a very historical bar here in Montana. It received Montana's very first liquor license, and it was built right after Prohibition by 2 retired Burlington Northern train conductors. And they actually, for the foundation of the bar, used steel railroad rails as a nod to the railroad and why they built this bar in the first place. And the other cool thing about this bar is, as you can see here, they have all these pennies on the floor covering the entire floor of the entire bar. And I asked the gal behind the bar if anybody knew how many pennies there were, and she said no. So if you're ever in Livingston, you can spend your time counting the pennies on the floor of the Mint Bar. So when you're walking around downtown Livingston, you can just see history everywhere, and some of the old buildings, and everything is just very historical from the early 1900s, and it's just a cool town to walk around, and there's all kinds of places to check out and explore around the town. And another place we went to, we just kind of stumbled upon as we were walking around downtown. It's called the True North Cafe, and we went there one morning for breakfast, and it was one of those all-time classic places. You know, the signage in there was really funny. You had to order up at the counter. They didn't have waiters or waitresses. You got all your silverware and napkins and everything, condiments, out of a toolbox that they had on the side of the room. It ended up, the food was really good, and I would highly recommend this place, but like they say here, if it's too slow for you, go to McDonald's, which is right down the road. So if you're in Livingston and looking for a good breakfast place, I would highly recommend this one. So we just spent the rest of the day or all weekend just kind of exploring the area, going to all the different stores. There's plenty of Western stores around town. There's plenty of bookstores around town, bars. There's all kinds of bars. And it's just a really cool place, and I'm glad that we went back and explored it. And the Yellowstone River runs right through town. They got a golf course there if you're into golf. The beauty of this area, it's just north of the Paradise Valley, which I just did a video on, and if you want to check that out, I'll post it at the end. But just an awesome place in Montana. Just east of town, you have the Crazy Mountains, which are spectacular, and I just couldn't get enough of Livingston, and if I wasn't living where I lived, I would definitely try and live over in Livingston. So if you'd like more information about Livingston, please give me a call or email, and I'll definitely help you out.
Thank you for watching our video. Please call, text, or email for more information, and don't forget to watch our other videos about Montana.